The source close to King Charles said to me that before Prince Harry married your sister or was in a relationship with your sister, he was never someone who was particularly obsessed about money or material things. But it's since the relationship with Meghan that he is now completely obsessed about money.
Today, we're addressing the distasteful remarks made by Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton about our beloved Duke and Duchess of Sussex. These critics have spun a web of inaccuracies and outright lies, from accusations of money obsession to baseless claims about their Colombia tour and Netflix deal. It's high time we debunk these falsehoods and expose the truth behind their malicious agenda. Let's dive right into their outrageous claims and set the record straight. Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton have accused the Duke of Sussex of becoming money-obsessed since his relationship with Meghan.
Before Prince Harry married your sister or was in a relationship with your sister, he was never someone who was particularly obsessed about money or material things. But it's since the relationship with Meghan that he is now completely obsessed about money. It's all he talks about. It's all he's interested in. It drives his jealousy of his brother and his envy of other members of the royal family because he's the spare rather than the heir. Was your sister always obsessed with money?
Yet their claims could not be further from the truth. Let's rewind the clock a bit. Even before the Duke's relationship with Meghan, he had always been financially independent, thanks to the inheritance left to him by his mother, Princess Diana. In fact, he's always been one to use his wealth for the betterment of others, not for personal gain. Take the Invictus Games, for instance. Prince Harry founded this international sporting event for wounded, injured, and sick military personnel back in 2014, years before he met Meghan. And let's not forget Santa Bali, the charity Prince Harry co-founded in 2006 to support children affected by HIV in Lesotho and Botswana. His commitment to these causes and many others clearly illustrates that his priority has always been helping others, not accumulating wealth. Now let's turn our attention to the Duke's life post-marriage. Meghan, a successful actress in her own right, brought her own financial independence into their marriage. Together, they have continued to use their resources to make a difference. They've launched Archewell, a nonprofit organization aimed at building compassionate communities. And they've signed deals with Netflix and Spotify, not to hoard money, but to produce content that uplifts and educates. Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton's claims that the Duke of Sussex is money-obsessed are not only incorrect, but also a gross misrepresentation of his character. They aim to paint a picture of a man whose values have been corrupted by his relationship with Meghan, but the reality is quite different. The Duke has always been, and continues to be, a man who uses his resources for the betterment of others. Clearly, their claim is baseless and shows their ignorance about the Duke's character. Transitioning our attention to the recent commotion enveloping the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's tour of Colombia.
It has been a disastrous week for the Sussexes. Not only does it look like they're going to lose their $100 million 5-year deal with Netflix, their Colombian tour was a disaster and has opened up to the world the cracks in the marriage. What was so sad, actually, with the Colombia tour was just seeing how completely miserable Harry was. I mean, Meghan seemed to be in her element, but Harry really upset.
Let's sift through the noise and get to the genuine facts. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Colombian tour, which took place between August 15th and August 19th, 2024, was far from a disaster. Imagine it resembling a zesty salsa dance, full of rhythm, flavor, and a dash of royal allure. Their journey included stops in the vibrant cities of Bogota, Cartagena, and Cali, with a total of 12 distinct engagements bringing them closer to the nation's heartbeat. Their tour was notably marked by a mesmerizing demonstration of their salsa and drumming skills and a successful attempt at speaking Spanish, proof of their immersion in the local culture. Through their Archewell Foundation, the couple made a lasting impact on the region, generously supporting educational, cultural, and community well-being projects in the areas they visited. The couple's interactions with locals were full of warmth and sincerity, participating in a variety of activities, like an enlightening session with local students and enjoying an enthralling cultural performance were some of the highlights. Invited by Colombia's Vice President, Francia Marquez, The tour's purpose was to spotlight pressing social issues and celebrate Colombian culture. Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton have propagated the notion that Prince Harry was utterly miserable during the tour. This couldn't be further from the truth. Prince Harry was truly involved, ebullient, and in high spirits throughout the tour. They weren't just going through the motions, but were genuinely immersed in the local life. Their dedication was visible in every interaction, every speech, and every engagement. The idea of a disastrous tour is a blatant lie and appears to be an attempt to tarnish the Sussexes' reputation. Their journey across Colombia was an affirmation of their dedication and commitment to create a positive impact, their knack for connecting with a diverse population, and their resilience in the face of adversity. It was a clear show of their strength as a unit and their ability to rise above the noise and focus on what truly matters. Unquestionably, the assertion of a disastrous tour is a fallacious narrative that lacks any basis. Next, let's address their claim about the Duke and Duchess's Netflix deal. Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton have the audacity to suggest that this venture was a failure. Let's set the record straight, shall we? According to official statements from Netflix, the Sussexes' projects have been far from unsuccessful. They've signed a multi-year deal estimated to be worth over $100 million. Under their production company, Archewell Productions, they've committed to producing an array of enlightening content that includes documentaries, docuseries, feature films, scripted television shows, and children's programming. Their aim? To give voice to diverse communities and share uplifting stories that inspire. Now, does that sound like a failure to you? It's clear that their drive to create impactful content and their commitment to diversity and representation have resonated with audiences worldwide. Their first announced project, Heart of Invictus, a docu-series following the journey of competitors, members of the military community who have experienced life-changing injuries or illnesses, on the path to the Invictus Games, has been met with anticipation and excitement globally. And let's not forget The Me You Can't See, a documentary series co-created with Oprah Winfrey, aiming to destigmatize mental health issues. The series has sparked important conversations around mental health and has been praised for its raw and honest portrayal of the struggles many face. It's evident that the Sussexes are using this platform to amplify voices that often go unheard and to tackle important issues head-on. They're not just churning out content for content's sake, they're creating with purpose and intent. So, to suggest that their Netflix deal has been a disaster is not just misleading, it's a gross misrepresentation of the facts. It's yet another attempt by Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton to undermine the accomplishments of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But guess what? Their claims, just like their previous ones, hold no water. Now, let's address the personal attacks on the Duchess. Samantha Markle, in an audacious attempt to smear the Duchess of Sussex, labels her as a narcissist.
In any country I've ever seen, you don't go and hug somebody's husband. And eye contact should be with the woman, not with the husband if you're female. Like, there are certain things that we innately know as women, but that are also customary common sense when traveling abroad. But if someone is a narcissist, I don't think that they would, A, do the research or be in tune with that because they're so self-focused.
She spins a tale of a supposed fallout with Francia Marquez, the Colombian vice president's husband, as a result of the Duchess's narcissistic traits. Let's set the record straight, shall we? Narcissism is a serious personality disorder, not a term to be thrown around lightly to suit one's narrative. As for the alleged fallout with Marquez, it's crucial to note that the Duchess is known for her warmth and empathy. This incident was no different. The Duchess's embrace of Marquez was a gesture of goodwill, not a symptom of narcissism. Samantha's claim, like many before, lacks substance and credibility. And then we have Dan Wootton, who suggests that there are cracks showing in the marriage between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's a classic tabloid trick, isn't it? Stirring up rumors of marital discord to generate clicks and views. But let's be clear, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have continuously shown their solidarity and love for each other, even in the face of adversity. Their commitment to each other and their shared causes is evident in their actions and words. These personal attacks, these attempts to tarnish the Duchess's character, and insinuations about her marriage are not just baseless, they're harmful. They contribute to a toxic narrative that seeks to undermine the Duchess and the work she and the Duke are doing to make a difference in the world. So, let's call these attacks what they truly are: an orchestrated campaign to discredit the Duchess, fueled by personal vendettas and a desire for sensationalism. These personal attacks are unwarranted and devoid of any truth. Finally, let's address their claim about King Charles's horror about the Sussexes possibly running out of money. This is another fabrication from Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton, a weak attempt to paint a picture of the Sussexes in financial distress. The reality, however, couldn't be further from the truth. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have made it crystal clear that they are striving for financial independence. Since stepping back from royal duties, they've been working tirelessly on their own projects and establishing their own brand, not to mention their lucrative deal with Netflix and their well-received Archie-Well audio podcast. It's evident that they aren't just surviving, they're thriving. Furthermore, it's important to note that the Sussexes' decision to step back from royal duties was not a hasty decision made out of financial desperation. It was a well-thought-out choice to prioritize their mental health and the well-being of their family. Their focus is on creating a meaningful and impactful legacy, not hoarding wealth. So the notion that King Charles is losing sleep over the Sussexes running out of money is preposterous. This is just another case of Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton twisting truths and peddling lies to fit their agenda. In conclusion, Samantha Markle and Dan Wootton's claims are nothing more than attempts to tarnish the Sussexes' image. And there you have it, fellow squatties. Always remember it's crucial to fact-check before accepting any claims made by critics. Let truth be our guiding light. Thank you for tuning in to Royal Telly. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stand strong with the Sussexes.